Hello friends, I am Dr. Srijit. Welcome back to Department of Biochemistry. Today we will be dealing about the introduction to colorimetry. Now, talking about colorimetry, we all have seen colored solutions in our life. In various walks of our life, we every day, daily, we deal with various solutions like water, colored waters like juices, etc. So all these are solutions which are colored. Now, what makes a solution to be colored in that manner, or why do they appear colored? It is because it reflects a certain color and absorbs all other colors of that with your spectrum you have learned in your smaller classes. So, what is colorimetry? Now, colorimetry is a measurement of substances, colored substances in solution. That is, if a solution is taken and somewhat concentration of some powder or some substances dissolved in that solution, if we want to measure the concentration of that solution of that substance in that solution, the science of that study is known as colorimetry. Okay, so they absorb light rays of particular wavelength. As I said earlier, they absorb certain wavelengths and reflect certain light. So the phenomenon by which a solution absorbs a certain amount of light is known as absorbance. So absorbance is a property of the medium. Okay, it is not the property of the light, it is a property of the medium through which the light passes. So now what is monochromatic? You will be hearing the term polychromatic, monochromatic very often in your biochemistry classes, in your practical classes. So what is known as monochromatic? Monochromatic is nothing but it is a light of a single wavelength. Okay, monochromatic means a single wavelength light. If it's of many wavelength, it can be called as polychromatic light. So monochromatic is light of single wavelength. Now let us see what happens when we take a beaker of a solution and pass certain amount of light or a particular wavelength, that is monochromatic light. If we pass through a solution, what happens to that light? Let's see. So we take a beaker of this solution and we pass a beam of light ray is passed, and that light ray, make sure it is monochromatic, that is a particular wavelength is only passed. And if we pass, we know it will come out as and the intensity of the light that is coming out of the beaker will be lesser than the intensity which was incident on that beaker. It is because some of the light has been, yes, you guessed it right, some of the light has been absorbed by the medium in the beaker, or the liquid in the solution in the beaker. So that property of that medium or that solution is known as absorbance. It can absorb some of the light and rest of the light is given out. So let's see what happens when the beaker is the solution in the beaker is concentrated more. If the concentration of the solution in the beaker is increased, and again the same light ray is passed, but then the absorbance will increase or decrease. What do you feel? Yes, you guessed it right. The absorbance increases in proportional to concentration. As we increase the concentration of the solution, the absorbed light by solution will increase, and thereby the emergent light intensity will decrease. So we under for the so the first thing we understand now is absorbance of a particular wavelength of a medium for a particular wavelength of light is proportional to the concentration of the solution. This is known as Beer's law. Okay, so this is Beer's law, and next we come to another scenario where we take again a beaker of liquid and pass an incident ray of light is passed through it, and the emergent light again, of course, will have lesser intensity due to absorbance of the medium. Now again, if we take the beaker, if we increase the path length of the light or the path length of the light passing, if the light has to travel through the solution more distance, the distance of the path of the light to be traveled is increased. What do you feel? What will happen? Will the absorbance increase or decrease? If the light has to travel more when compared to the previous setup, so what happened? Yes, you guys guessed it right again. The intensity of the emergent light will again decrease compared to the previous thing. So what is the inference? The absorbance is again proportional to the length of the path traveled by the light. Okay, if we increase the length of the path traveled by the light in the solution, it will increase the absorbance of the solution. to that particular wavelength of light. So to summarize that, again we can say absorbance is proportional to length traveled by the path of light. Okay, length of the path traveled by the light. Okay, so this law is known as Lambert's law. Okay, so we have two laws now. One is Beer's law stating that absorbance is proportional to concentration, and the second law, which is Lambert's law, which is stating absorbance is proportional to length. Now, combining these two laws, we have absorbance is equal to, as you know from your lower classes, whenever we combine two proportional equations, we can replace it with the constant. Here the constant is known as extinction coefficient. So the Beer-Lambert's law equation, if someone asks, this is the equation for Beer-Lambert's law, that is absorbance for a particular wavelength is equal to uh, extinction coefficient into concentration into length. Okay, so this is Beer-Lambert's law. Okay, so this is the main thing we have to learn from this class, and this is the basis of all colorimetric reactions in whatever whichever is being done in the labs, or which all you are going to do in the practical classes in the coming days. Okay, so this forms the basis of every experiment, quantitative experiments. Okay, now coming to colorimeter. Okay, now, colorimeter is a device which looks like this. It is there in the practical hall. You will be performing experiments, quantitative experiments on this device. Okay, so this is colorimeter, and let's learn the parts of a colorimeter. Now, colorimeter, the purpose of colorimeter is that it uses the principle of Beer-Lambert's law and tells us and helps us to find out the concentration of a given substance, concentration of a sample, or a concentration of substance dissolved in a sample. So that principle is, that is Beer-Lambert's law, is utilized by colorimeter to help us find out the concentration of a dissolved substance. So coming to parts of colorimeter, you can see that it has a light source. From the light source, polychromatic, we know that the light that comes from the tube or the bulb in our homes, all are white light. This white light will contain all the wavelengths contained in it. So we first, and the light source will spread the light in all directions. So we first need a condensing lens. Okay, the polychromatic light coming from the uh, light source is being condensed by the lens, and it is and the condensed light is passed through a filter. Now the filter or the monochromator, any name can be used, filter or the monochromator, the purpose of that thing is to convert the polychromatic light into monochromatic light, which I told earlier is the light of a single particular wavelength. So once it is converted into a single particular wavelength, the light will pass through the cuvette in which our sample will be kept. This cuvette is a small glass test tube in which our sample will be kept, and once the light passes through, the absorbance will be the incident ray will contain a particular intensity. The emergent ray will contain obviously a decreased intensity, and the medium in the cuvette will absorb some of the light. This absorbance of the transmittance will be recorded by the photocell, and it will be displayed in the output. Okay, so this is the basic uh, components, constituents of the colorimeter. So and this colorimeter, this machine gives us the absorbance of the sample. This is very basic thing you have to understand. Once you understand the basic things of a colorimeter, it's easy to understand how the colorimeter works and how does calculation help us in finding out the concentration of a particular solution. Okay, so I already told this colorimeter will give us the absorbance of the sample we have to find out. Now, for all practical purposes, we say that absorbance is equal to optical density. We usually interchange these names and use. So, for our practical purposes or practical class, for your university exams and all, use the term optical density, okay, rather than absorbance. So the colorimeter gives the OD of a solution or the absorbance. Okay, we go for the name of optical density now. So you might be thinking, after learning about Beer-Lambert's law and colorimeter, why is this guy telling all these things and why are we learning all this? Okay, now let me explain this with you an example. Um, Actually, we are learning this because we need to, whenever a solution with a concentration, with an unknown concentration of a substance is given, and you have a standard solution with a non concentration is there, When we have these two things and we have a colorimeter, we can find out the concentration of a color this dissolved substances in the solution using this Beer-Lambert's law and with the help of the colorimeter. Okay, so it is interesting because every time physicians will prescribe or advise us to do blood tests which will measure blood sugar or other hormone levels or anything for that matter. So what happens is that in the biochemistry labs, all the instruments are working on this principle. This Beer-Lambert's law and colorimeter and or maybe colorimeter nowadays. Bigger instruments like spectrophotometer, automated analyzers, etc. are used in our labs, but all work on under the same principle known as Beer-Lambert's law. Okay, so let's see what how we can use this Beer-Lambert's law and colorimeter to find out the concentration of a unknown substance. Okay, now we imagine we have two solution. One is test solution and one is standard solution. This test solution concentration we don't know, and we have to find out the solution concentration of that solution. Standard solution is that solution which we know the concentration already. So if we write the Beer-Lambert's law equation for both, the test solution equation will be OD test equal to uh, extinction coefficient into concentration of test into length. Okay, now if we write the OD's the Beer-Lambert's law for standard solution, it will be OD standard equal to extinction coefficient into concentration of standard into length. Now if we divide these both equations, what happens if we divide these equations? If we divide these equations and we maintain the same medium in both situations, if we have the same medium, obviously we will have having the same medium, only the concentration changes. As it is the same medium, the coefficient, the extinction coefficient will get cancelled. Now again we are using the beaker of same proportions for both test and standard. Again the length will get cancelled. So the remaining things are OD test, concentration test, OD standard and concentration of standard. Now bringing concentration of standard to the left hand side, the final equation we have is concentration of test is equal to OD of test by OD of standard into concentration of standard. Now this is a very important equation you have to remember. This is the only equation you need to solve all the quantitative experiments, do all the quantitative experiments in your lab, whether it be blood sugar, creatinine, urea, protein, albumin or anything. So if you have this equation in hand, it's easy to perform your experiments. So this is the final equation we arrive at by from this Beer-Lambert's law. From this, we can find the concentration of any test solution given the concentration of standard is known. Let's see how it is done. For let's see for the test solution, we don't know the concentration, so we have so it is the question mark. Now OD can be found out by reading it in the colorimeter. Standard solution, as I told, concentration is also already given, but the OD can again be found out by reading it in the colorimeter. Okay, now in the equation if we see it again, we don't know the concentration of test solution, and concentration of standard solution is already given. So if we have the OD test by reading it from the colorimeter and again OD of standard by reading it in the colorimeter, the right hand side equation right hand side has all the values we have already provided with all the values. Concentration of standard will be given to us. OD of test and standard can be found out by using the colorimeter. Then we will arrive at the value which will be the concentration of the test solution. So this is the basis of all colorimetric reactions. Okay, once you know the concentration of the standard solution and you have a colorimeter to find out the ODs of the test and the standard, it's easy to tell the concentration of the test solution. Okay, so this is the basis of all colorimetric reactions. Now while doing your practicals, I'll be telling about a blank solution. Now if you ask me what are blank solutions are nothing but usually they are distilled water, distilled water taken in the same cuvette under the same wavelength we are measuring. What happens is that before doing any experiment, for example, if we take in daily life, if we have to measure something, tell if we have to measure our height or weight, we need a zeroth value to start the measuring from. Okay, we have to have a base value to tell the machine that this is 0 and above this is 1 2 3 4 etc. So if we have to measure a height of a child, you have to know where the zeroth value of the tape is. Only then you can measure the height of the child. So in that way, from before every experiment, we have to tell the colorimeter that for my experiment there is a blank solution, and this blank solution we keep in the colorimeter and set it to 0 value. Okay, more it will be more clear when we discuss the estimation of blood sugar in the next class. So that's all about blank solution. It is the purpose is to tell or teach the colorimeter or any machine that this is the base value. This is the value from which you have to start measuring from. Okay, so this is the purpose of blank solutions. Now, that's all about the introduction to colorimetry, and thank you for your patient listening to this class. More details about quantitative experiments and how to do them, how to do the calculations, how to arrive at a conclusion, and their further discussion and all will be dealt in the later classes. Thank you.